Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Darkest Dungeon. Where's my mouse? There it is. Um, so what we didn't really make the best of progress in the last recording. We did two runs on these mediums, and then had to escape basically, and we lost a pretty good character. Although they're all very low level characters at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm thinking what I need to do is probably just do the short Apprentice Level 1 Warrens and these other, what are kind of DLC locations that I'm fairly certain just did not exist originally in the game, and that you would have pretty much just had to do the Darkest Dungeon over and over again when it was in early access mode, even though it says you need to be at like level 6 to even get that far. Um, but yeah, my thought pattern certainly is that we should do the easy ones and experience these other locations. At the very least, these other locations may just look differently or play differently. So there's something to that, at least. Alright, so this character has the heal party, and you really need that character. Always. Although, you may not actually need it in the second spot if you are mostly just trying to do the heal party. Also, this character has the torch improvement option that improves your light without having to spend torches. And we still have some new characters, so like this character is an occultist, which means had I not sold the occultist item, I could have equipped that. Night blindness. Let's see. He wants to be in the front for attacking. It does just feel like there's too much of this that goes on. Houndmaster. I don't know if I really want to play the Houndmaster. This character looks like they would be good as a musketeer in the back. So, do we want to play Houndmaster, or do we want to play the musketeer? The highwayman. This one's health. What is this one's health? Because there are 7 nightmare scenarios that you need to go through with this character, but I don't know if I'm actually going to even have a time at which you rest to trigger a nightmare scenario, so yeah. If I'm not going to use this character, I shouldn't have this character enabled, but I guess we'll take Houndmaster. And it probably doesn't really matter too much if we were to like try and drag an item here. How do you remove an item? Do you have to click shift it? Shift click it? Let's see. Right click. You can drag it from one spot to another, but you can't drag it into your inventory. Ooh, well, so that might also point out something here, that you cannot remove items. Maybe that's because he's a kleptomaniac and he's prone to stealing items, or maybe that is just a default thing. I guess the question we would have to do is find if we've given any other item to any other character. And if we could take that item, like this item here. This character doesn't have kleptomania, see? And he can drag things. Okay. So, to get back this common item, I would have to cure his kleptomania, see? Then remove the item, and it's probably not really worth it to do that. So I probably shouldn't have given the character the item in the first place. And I guess if you're getting 3,000 gold back, you probably shouldn't spend more than 3,000 gold in the first place. Let's see what happens at the Warrens. Alright. We have a little bit more money this time, so I would say for a short have at least 4 of those. Have at least 4 of those. Let's have 2 of those, which that's quite a lot. And I don't know if we need anything else. Let's double up on those. And let's take 2 of those. Some of this other stuff I think you just live with. Like if somebody starts bleeding, or if they're blighted, poisoned, or toxined. All of those other things I think you just say no to. They're too expensive and you're not going to get your money back. Alright, so they want me to have 8 food. So I'll listen to them. I wouldn't be surprised if the Warrens are just mostly background, different art. We may run into different cards
down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
The challenge here is to complete 100% of the room battles. Which move to this room battle, obstacle, curio. We kind of just have to go that way first anyways.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
We may find that there's a lot of things that the shovel would have helped with. So I may have needed more shovels, but not really sure. Duelist advanced. Let's just start with a standard pistol shot. What I'd say is weird about this though is that you don't really run into a situation where it just gets super easy, or that you could just grind out the easy actions. Yeah, this guy has a heal ability also, I didn't realize that.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Like, you can, if you're lucky, seemingly kill characters in 2 hits fairly frequently. So, is that torch -5? Oh yeah, I think that is torch -5, not +5. Him being an occultist, that would make some sense. Wait, this is torch +6.
As the fiend falls, a faint
So we're up to
hope
99.
blossoms.
Can we get to 100, or does it stop at 99, I guess? Now this guy has a reposit, which would be basically a counterattack, I assume.
Their formation is broken.
This guy might be
Maintain the
really, really
offensive.
strong.
Success
Not a
so
lot of reward
clearly
there.
in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
It may be a case that these are just easier levels. Different types of monsters. This is a madman.
Consumes the mind.
Wretch. This guy's getting like ridiculous amounts of fear.
The ground quakes.
Kill that
Continue
guy
the
quickly.
onslaught. Destroy them all.
I haven't quite hit the point yet where I'm starting to get a little annoyed with the voice acting, but I can't help but suspect that that will happen eventually. I will just have heard everything it has to say. Once I've heard everything it has to say and it starts repeating itself, I imagine I'll start to get annoyed with it. Feels like some of these characters' speeds are particularly slow, so much so that some characters are playing twice in a row.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Alright, heal party. I can either heal the party or increase the torchlight. I think you healed the party. Yeah, this could go bad. This could go really, really bad. This doesn't actually do any damage. Let's just go ahead and heal this guy. I'm still questioning the value in healing. Yeah, this guy's just gonna hit his stress level incredibly
Well
fast.
struck.
Unless this is a side area that is specifically supposed to
Press
be
disadvantage.
really
Give them no
difficult.
quarter.
Yeah, it does seem like it just gets you to 99 when you raise the light. Saving me a little on torches, but wasting any real savings I would have on
Decimated.
wasted turns instead. Holy
This
water,
expedition at
bandages,
least
portraits.
promises success.
Suppose you might try to use food to restore this guy's health, but I don't think so. Alright, so we went here. We need to move back here. As we walk through this.
And now the true test. Hold fast or expire.
Feeding her 4 of the 8 food we have, just to Keep her from dying. Spark of a coin, I see.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
You're not really getting anywhere as much gold as I was in the previous sections. You just gotta really keep your eyes down for traps. And I really don't understand this hunger mechanism. It does seem kind of out there, and as is something that just kind of randomly occurs. Alright. 100% of the room battles almost certainly means you need to go down this way. We do have a shovel. Now, stack of books. Is there anything we could do with a stack of books that would make sense? She reads it, now she has this lurker ability. Let's go ahead and bring the torch back up. I'm not sure how much the torch really increases. If we're at 72 now and we click this, does that get us, seems like 25 out of 100? That's a reasonable amount. Come on. The doors need to be a lot bigger if that's the plot or plan. So it might be a case that these areas just have less enemy encounters. Which I guess that kind of works. I either missed the trap there or couldn't see the trap. Okay. Word reconstruction here. 0 to 13. Right. Let's go ahead and... Probably shouldn't be targeting the female acolytes. We should probably be targeting the two in the front. These are things I imagine I would eventually learn if I played enough of this game. It's just what the real danger to people is.
The wounds of war can be healed.
Because since their stats and numbers are pretty much the same, it is going to probably become a case where we eventually figure out that the brawler is always better to attack first compared to the acolyte, and that there won't be ever a special version of the brawler that changes that scenario, or a special version of the acolyte that would change that scenario. I guess we'll just keep on trying to heal people, since he's way at the back. He can't really do anything else.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Let's bring our light back up. Maybe. Why is this guy attacking twice? And that should get the health all the way back up. It is a ridiculously complicated system, though. That you're balancing your light levels, you're balancing your madness, you're balancing your health and attack, and you're positioning your place. It really just feels like this is a game full of systems made by somebody who's really in love with the concept of systems more than they are in love with the concept of a smooth, easy to understand video game experience.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Weakening curse. Karen Eater versus Drummer. Yeah, that drummer just did a massive amount of fear on me. Alright, sidearm, fire. Almost certainly this drummer is a debuffer character, and any debuffer character is going to be way more dangerous than just an average attacker character. Well, the light is at 100 now, and I think stuck at 100. I imagine it doesn't go any further than that. I didn't mean to attack that. There. Guess we'll heal. This guy is still stunned, so we'll attack this other one. So it's probably a mistake. It really isn't fair. You have to realize that, though, that your side of the team has this madness mechanic where these guys don't have any kind of fear or madness mechanic at all. And so they can just get away with continuously charging towards you and attacking. Unless there is a fear mechanic and I just haven't gotten a team that's strong enough to scare any of these characters even as their teams are falling apart and they're dying. Let's see. Aim shot at this guy. Finally getting rid of him. Heal. I suppose you heal somebody. This is at 23, 20, 24. Heal yourself, I guess.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Just go ahead and move this guy backwards. Base damage minus 75. This guy probably should be hiding in the back. Base damage minus 15%. Come on, just win and move forward with the game.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
What is this? Ancient barbaric rituals. Let's see if holy water does anything on it. Secret key. Every item you try to use on this doesn't seem like it would do anything. Deeply disturbed, 58. Now the guy's abusive.
Frustration and fury, more destructive than 100 cannons.
Okay. I suppose we have to just try everything once and then figure out what things are not worth trying. A sacrificial stone almost certainly was not worth clicking on. At the very least, it didn't end up with somebody getting sacrificed and just instant killing one of your 4 companion characters here. Although I guess companion characters is probably the wrong term to use. Let's see. Nothing valuable in the remains. Scrawlings written on what looks like a stretch and tanning human flesh. Scrawlings here change the hero. And apparently it may have the red plague now. Well, maniac for money. Germaphobe. Hey, the abusive aspect may have changed and gone away. So changing the hero, not a bad move. Let's see. Or maybe this character still does have abusive. Yeah, no, they do. But apparently that's a different kind of madness trait, and you can only have one of them. Which I guess that's something different. Not expecting this one to be too difficult, though.
Another one falls.
This fight should be okay. The next fight could be problematic. As long as his stress doesn't start to go really crazy up and he goes and he dies from a heart attack. That's my main concern. Would be somebody just totally dying.
Precision.
He just shot his own person as abusive. Yeah, that's no good. Let's see. There definitely are some other aspects to this that I wouldn't have enjoyed these mechanics in Diablo 1.
Back to the pit.
Like, the idea of having such an incredibly limited amount of resource space.
Mount, so too will resistance.
Which, in all fairness, even Diablo 1, it kind of has a fairly small inventory space, but things stack a lot more, and you don't have as much variety in items. This is really crazy that, for the most part, you really only have 8 spaces. Yeah, there might be a trade-off if you are carrying just one skeleton key for some other item. Seems like very consistently you get a secret compartment when you use a key.
Such a burden of finery risks life and limb.
Alright. Our quest is completed. We should go this way, and then we should make back this way, and then leave. And that's my hope, is that we can go all the way in this direction. Dusty knives, they're covered in fresh blood. What happens if we use this? Bandage protects you.
Waiting to be spent.
So bandage and fresh blood worked. Well, I clicked on the trap.
Lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
We now have him being selfish. This guy needs bandages, so we'll use that. And there's absolutely nothing in this room, so back we go. Let's go back to our inventory and bring our light level up. We can't click on anything more. More gold. Really still not getting a lot of gold though.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Okay. So then the question to ask is it worthwhile to clear a dungeon at this lower level, or just escape and not fight this final fight? I think we need to experiment and escape and just ignore this final fight, because it probably wouldn't be that big of a fight anyways, but these guys are stressed out anyways, and if I did clear out the final fight area, it's probably just going to move me to the next chapter of the Warrens.
Their squeals fade. Their confidence is shaken.
So we're gonna get, I guess, about 5,000 gold again, and a bunch of just upgrade material. And since we succeeded, we actually have characters that are leveling up now. This guy's now a night owl. This is now a scouting chance in the Weald. And then extra damage against Eldritch people. So that worked better.
Things are not as bad as they seem.
So it seems like there might just be a random event in general every week, and it's not always going to be a new character arriving. So we have one good week, while the campaign continues to drag on. Recent events have emboldened the standing roster. Confidence is reported to be at an all-time high. So yeah, all these characters seem to have potentially enjoyed some reduction in stress. Flagellation, reduced stress. Prayer, reduced stress. Meditation, reduced stress. Level up for those characters. Okay. So we've only got a couple more weeks before we're going to have to try to increase our hero barracks some more.
A lawman and his faithful beast. A bond forged by battle and
just kind of an achievement for getting a new character, I guess, or getting over 15 characters. One or the other. We do have enough that we could potentially buy something over here, but that's not what we're really looking for. What we want is to be able to upgrade this. So, can we convert this into that? Not at a cheap price. Like, that'd get me 3, so not enough. Can we upgrade anything over here? Well, we could convert all these into 6 of those. But I think this really is just a sucker's bet to convert anything at all. Alright. We have a guy here who has a massive amount of stress. What is the actual amount, though? 100 versus 100. It might be once you get over 100, you have to relieve it through one of these processes. Okay, we can upgrade this.
A little hope,
and so we
however
should.
Desperate, is never without worth.
Yeah. I really don't see a way that you wouldn't constantly have to work on the stressed out characters. Either you do that or you just don't care about them. Like, that's... and you just let them die. And maybe that is the smarter move, is that you are supposed to just let them die. This guy couldn't do either one of those. So I could do that one. I don't think that guy's really stressed enough. At a certain level, I guess this may end up giving us a little bit more money. Are we getting items? Plus 15% polite. Do we have the plague doctor still alive? Bleed and blight. Yeah, it kind of does make the plague doctor seem like a character that we should try. Let's try this guy here. We want to get rid of his kleptomaniacy for 5,000 gold. That seems like a lot. 15,000 gold to get rid of that. 15,000 to get rid of that. 15,000 to get rid of that. Do we have any chance of upgrading anything here? Not really. So now really wouldn't be the time to do this. If we wanted to lock in good abilities. They seem to kind of have an on and off toggle on them. Yeah, so I would want to just upgrade this guy later. And frankly, you'd have to have a character that has something fairly wrong with them to bother to do anything. This guy has like hysterical blindness. And some of these newer characters, I imagine, have nothing wrong with them. Would be only 500 gold, but even at 500 gold, that's probably a lot of money to waste just to say you did something once. Vampiric spirits as a disease. Let's see. Put them in there. And I think you're otherwise stuck. Like, you're building money, yes. But this Houndmaster would, to upgrade any of the bladesmith stuff, I would have to get more upgrades to the buildings. And I could definitely see some players not wanting to have to go through the hassle of getting the upgrade materials first. Right. I think the shield breaker is probably a decent character to play with, but I don't know if you really need to upgrade any of their abilities. It's just going to be spend money and then probably waste that money. Same is kind of true for items. So we had a good week, and we had a good run, and then you come back to this, and there's just nothing to do. Just sit on your money and be happy that you have some money. We can take this Houndmaster and give him that. And then, as far as arborists, I don't think I have any arborists. It is going to be very difficult to maintain such a big team, though. And it kind of feels like there should be a system where you could feed characters into other characters, and that the level, the skill, would level up a character. Because at the end of the day, I only need 4. And so that cleared Warren's 1. And so we now have another short Warren's. Clear path to boss progress, 0%, 50%. So maybe I was right. Maybe just accomplishing your goal and leaving is better than completely clearing out an area. It says clear a path to boost to the boss progress 0%. So either there's a lot of these warrens challenges, and that worked very well, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to avoid like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to really not just go back and do it again. This character was fairly stressed. Maybe I should go back and consider putting this character here. I do think I have an occultist now that could use that. The rewards are going to be different, I guess, for different places. You get the paintings here, the bust here, paintings here, and the shields here. So that might be randomized, or that might just be the way it always goes. See, like having two of these types of characters doesn't really make sense. We'll take this shield breaker, who has no XP compared to the other shield breaker, who has kleptomaniacy. Will not take part in prayer activity in town after certain traumatic events. Like this guy. It's a flagellant. Feel like his attacks would add stress to everybody else. Or you have to at least be careful about him. I am at the point where I'm not scared of stress, but let's switch this outfit so he looks a little bit easier to see. He's a little dark in that color palette. But yeah, I'm also not particularly interested in going through that whole setup. Or I'm still not interested in letting their stress get to 200 and letting them die. And I guess I do need to focus on this abomination, because he is like totally the bad guy to the guy that already has some experience. Not a bad guy. I'm just rambling at this point. Greatly increases the hound's vigor for a short time. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then can't buy shard dust without actually using the shard currency. We know that we can do something with that. We know we can do something with that, and that. So it probably does just benefit you to have one of everything, which is probably a huge waste of money in a short dungeon. but we'll see. We need to just waste money and experiment, and money itself is not, well, it is important. It's actually not
Prosecute our war against the
as
swine,
important
we
as
must
it
first
would
scout
seem.
their squalid homes.
Well, let's, I guess, go this way first. Come on. Previous adventurer, we could use a shovel. Yeah. See what happens if we do a shovel here. Item had no effect. Hero becomes strangely fascinated. So now he has bloodthirsty, fascinated with injury, wounds, and torture.
Cruel
Didn't see that
machinations
trap
spring to
coming.
life with a singular purpose.
It's funny, I kind of don't feel like this interface is anywhere as optimized as it probably should be, considering all the other additions that this game has had via DLC. Right. This one seems like it's safe. This one's not safe. This one's safe. And this one's safe. Reign of Sorrow on that drummer. This does have a nice little visual tilt shift effect it's doing where it pans the camera left and right a little bit. But yeah, just clicking on like doors and trying to open a door shouldn't be as difficult as the game is really making it. Also, I think it's worth pointing out that the background here doesn't actually look like a real building. It looks like somebody painted a picture of a building, which that is weird.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I guess I shouldn't have brought the shield breaker on a short mission, but she'll work.
Obliterated.
Weirdly though, you do just kind of boil down to these sections where I'm gonna stop having anything to say as I'm just clicking and clicking and clicking. Just trying to figure out what of the 4 attacks are the correct attacks. Unlike Diablo, even though these do have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under them, you would have to get very familiar with your character and what attacks they have for that to be something that makes sense. In Diablo, you would always put like a heal on one if you were used to doing that. So, and you would play that way throughout all your playthroughs, so it would become consistent. But there were, I'm sure for most players, at least a couple of times where you accidentally hit the wrong number on the keyboard or put your mana versus your health potions in the wrong place. Right. That item has no effect, so don't try a key on an unlocked strongbox.
A full pack often attracts unwanted attention.
Somebody needs anti-venom. Well, let's see. Okay. While we're at it, we'll also use the torch. You would half expect this to eventually get to a point where you're so strong that you would just attack these characters automatically and defeat them. That's the thing about even like Japanese RPGs that makes them particularly slow and grindy, is that you'll have very low level characters attack you in a lot of RPGs, and Japanese RPGs or otherwise, and
another one falls.
You then have to go through the whole loading process of the attack sequence and the attack gameplay mechanic, and then you do one attack or two attacks to defeat them, and then you go on you have to look at the wrap-up sequence, so it adds at minimum 20 seconds, a lot longer often than 20 seconds for every single fight. There clearly is a trap I'm not visually seeing.
And not the rule.
So his quirk is now reinforced, which for this guy being bloodthirsty probably is a smart move. And I just got lucky that I was on that character when I clicked on that. Because I really don't need a second character to become bloodthirsty. Right. So what we want to do is see if maybe we could change this guy. So I'm going to click on this guy first. Being a Warren's phobe may be a problem overall, too. Scrollings has changed the heroes. He's now a fast healer. And maybe it changed some of those other stats, maybe it didn't. It does weirdly seem like they just get stress based on a random number of steps. Right. This one's probably the least important character. There reeks of powerful liquors. Would there be anything to do with the liquors as far as items? Let's just search it. Barrel's completely empty. If we don't get some torches, now we're going to run out of light before we get to the end. But we may have... I don't think we really would have explored any of the characters, though. Like 90% of the room seems to be unrealistic. That there was... Well, if we look here, there's 5, 6 rooms, 7, 8, 9. So 90% is 9 of the rooms, effectively, I would guess. Suffer. Clear mark, transfer bleed, transfer blight. I don't think that works either. Let's just move around. Let's attack the drummer first. I still feel like the drummer is probably your biggest danger there. Is this a female flagellist? The names are kind of generic. I'd say it's probably a guy. With the shorts being torn up and them hitting themselves with whips and flagellating, torturing themselves. I'd assume that's a guy. That'd be hard to depict as a female character without
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Getting awkward. I guess the male to female ratio is pretty heavy male. That's true in a lot of fantasy stories and fantasy characters. The DLC Shieldbreaker character helps balance that out a little bit, but if you didn't have that DLC character, then that wouldn't be very helpful, would it? I'm just gonna heal myself. This guy has like 1 health. Is there anything I can do to save this guy? I think he's dead, which is a shame. Is he hurting himself when he attacks? I don't think he is.
A death by inches.
I wish I could heal the other character.
And now the true test. Hold fast or expire. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
So this guy is just dead, even though we made some progress with him. Unfortunately, I don't see a way that he isn't going to
This is no place for the
die.
weak or the foolhardy.
And that's just going to happen, and that's just something about this game that, whether you like it or not, is just part of the
Precision
experience.
And power.
We'll get another flagellist.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay. Let's see. Holy water. Just increasing the resistance. Let's see. We need to test something here. And if we can't test food, then we should probably try medical herbs.
A fortune
Herbs kill any
waiting to
diseases.
be spent.
So medical herbs on the food. That was a smart move. Sack is empty. Where are you trapped? There you are.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
We are just rushing now. to get to the other side of the map. And that was just a unfortunate, kind of unfair, random turn of events that led the map to start us in a middle spot. We could escape now, or we can just hope that we could play in the darkness. And that's one of the things I think that we haven't really experimented with yet, is can we still succeed in the darkness, or is that just way too dangerous? We'll see if anything here increases the light levels. Blackjack damage mod 65%. Yep. There is probably a grid here between like really weak characters with a lot of defense and really strong characters with a little defense, and really strong characters with a lot of defense and really weak characters with a little defense. And two of those four potential options in that grid almost certainly make for
A trifling
a
victory,
worse
but a victory
experience.
nonetheless.
Like weak characters with a lot of defense that you have to just beat on forever really suck. Strong characters with a lot of defense kinda suck. Interesting, there's a whole just different room there. Card of Human Remains, it looks much like a feeding trough. Let's see what bandages do there. Nothing. Shovel does nothing. I don't think I want to waste laudanum. I mean, try it. It does nothing. It gives us a shovel back and some food.
Impressive haul, if you value such things.
Stack of literary treasures. Let's see what happens if we put a deed here. Nothing, so you can't actually put a deed there. So it seems like you probably can't put anything on this that that would be a reward, even though it seems like you totally could do that. So we're getting in the room with our light level. And our stress very low. And then there's just nothing in this room. Light level down to 13. Bleed. She's now paranoid.
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
It gives us just a little bit more light. Alright. Is there not a fight or anything in this room? Okay, so we've been all the way through this room, and all the way through this map, so we probably have cleared the map out, unlike the last run.
Seem a little less impossible.
Very small amounts of gold recovered from all of that, but decent amounts of upgrade material. It leveled up a couple of characters and lost Vitalis, which isn't the biggest of loss. She's now a beast hater. He's now a cave scrounger. Or a cove scrounger. Although,
in time, you will know the tragic extent of my
getting
failings.
that much gold was actually less than what I spent last week just trying to reduce the stress on characters. That is possibly in part because I bought too much resources and I'm just trying to experiment and learn. But, yeah. Abby says Glanville has become one with pain and refuses to stop flagellating yet. Didn't seem like we got a weekly event this week either. Well, we very quickly have gone from losing one guy to now we have 4 guys we've lost. Okay. I don't think we have a Vestal. I don't think we have a Crusader.
Anchored by holy purpose. A zealous warrior.
And I don't think we're going to get enough upgrade material for that. Probably are going to very quickly realize we don't have enough upgrade material to upgrade anything. So at a certain level, it might even become questionable as to whether or not it was worth the effort to do that small section at this time, or if this is just small progress that we're making. Alright, well, let's head to the Abbey. This guy won't stop flagellating, they said. Reginald here, his stress seems to have gone down all by itself, so just leaving people in the village seems to reduce their stress to a certain amount. That is good to know. So this one would meditate. Or we should check the tavern and see if we can do something with the tavern. We could upgrade the bar. That's the one thing we can upgrade. So send this one to the brothel. And noticeably here, I guess male or female, you can send anybody you care to the brothel. Germaphobe. Just spending a lot of your money to reduce stress. But I guess if you have stress that is in the 50s or 60s, it's probably worth it. Okay. But once again, that leaves you with very little money. This character can have this item. We're still Arbalists. Still looking for Arbalist as a character, and I don't think we've seen anything that's an Arbalist. I guess a Vestial is a healer class character. It would probably make some sense if they just called them healers. So, what would we want to do here? We cleared an area out, and that has now raised this. So now we have a medium-sized one, and a medium-sized one, and a medium-sized one. And we now really should look at like the Weald. I don't know why this guy is particularly in the inventory. Did I click on him? Yeah. Ideally, you would want to be able to do the ruins and go all the way through the ruins and get the story finished on the ruins. But I don't think that's really how you can play this. So I probably want to do another short run where I am just going through one of these, and maybe I really should just exit out and not clear an entire area out. Because clearing out an area does seem like a mistake. So here's all healer. It heals the party, which is best in that position. Which will put him in the front position. And yeah, I'm really looking for things with a 1 next to their name that I can play. And so a lot of these characters I think will eventually get replaced. Or just completely ignored. You'll just have a character that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Or duplicate characters. Now, what's special about this character that he has? I guess maybe he has a disease. Yeah. And this character also has a disease. Let's just see how this goes. Lock of patience, abomination only. 10% virtue chance. 3,000 reward. We don't have money, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're not always guaranteed to even run into a lock. You are highly chance of running into at least one of those. So one of those, and then probably need to be a lot more frugal on the usage of torches. And see, there was a possibility I could have just ended the episode there, but we've only been playing for an hour and 20 minutes, and another short run probably isn't going to be that much. It's so weird that it doesn't just immediately jump in.
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
If this was a timed game, and there was a reason why it was waiting for you to click a button to go in, that would make sense. But it's not really what's happening here. So again, different backgrounds, and I assume different enemies. The Warren may be more humans. Let's see, heal. Does heal possibly remove?
The ground quakes.
Diseases? Probably not. Torch light at this point not necessary, so damage minus 75, damage minus 50. Let's go with hand of light. Didn't work. It does create a potential situation once again where if the idea was that you were really should have run away and not finished the dungeon even when you could, the tutorial in the game itself should have really warned you about entering the final room or going any further. Self plus 25% damage. I don't think that is a good one to use then. And more than likely we are nowhere getting from the easiest short dungeons to the to medium-sized dungeons. I wouldn't be surprised if there's large dungeons and extra large dungeons and extra large dungeons. I imagine it doesn't go much bigger than that. Okay. Torch now is probably worth it.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
This guy's bleeding. Let's see. I don't think this guy can do anything, so we'll move him around. We can continuously just debuff with the weakening curse until we can get to a character that can actually damage.
Give them no quarter.
It does benefit you, it seems, to debuff characters. Somebody dropped this probably on the run. It has a lock on it. Well, if it has a lock on it, let's use a key. Something recently in this mutilated character. Holy water? Shovel? Still some meat on the bones, more food. And at a certain level, yes, having extra food can be sold back. This is another example of the background really looking just poorly drawn. Complete 100% of the room battles means we have to go up first. These may be fairly easy mushroom characters, and these may be fairly easy fights overall. They give you a decent amount of gold. So this might be the one to grind out and just attack over and over again. I have no real reason to assume that the frugal artillery is better than the fungal scratcher, but I'm just making a general assumption. I generally guess that he at the back might be more dangerous. We get a new pop-up here. I was not really expecting a new pop-up. Some monsters have high protection, I guess it's prot, which absorb attack damage, damage over time, blight and bleed, ignore protection, and are effective means of taking down these highly armored opponents. Good to know. We may need to use that information. Protection 33%. Doesn't sound like the highest of high, but I am noticing
Impressive.
a pattern here. Smite. The debuffed character. One thing you could definitely do, just a simple modification to this game, a simple mod, to have all characters always have respite, which is a system already in the game, so that you counterattacked always, or you just had a thorn-like effect always. When somebody attacks you, that would have every attack have a cost to it, and it would just guarantee that every action moves you closer towards the end of a fight.
Destroy them all.
Where it does kind of feel like you could otherwise get into fights where it's just tit for tat, back and forth for like 5 or 10 minutes. Since all this game really is those fights,
As the light gains
they need to
purchase,
move fairly
spirits are
quickly.
lifted, and purpose is made clear.
I kind of feel like this should have been an action game, just like a timed action game where you're moving the characters very quickly and you're losing light
Executed.
per second. I suppose if you retreat from combat here, you leave the entire dungeon. Yeah, there's no dodging or running away option. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move this guy back again. And we definitely have hit the point where this is too much for what I was considering pretty low-level enemies. Like, I don't even know if we're actually in the room with the battle. I don't think we are. I think we're on the way to the room battle. Totally missed. Come on, kill him.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
For a couple of documents and 50 gold, that's a lot. See, like, I can't really heal. I could give some food to this guy, but the amount of food they're eating is not recovering a lot.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Now we've got some dogs. Everybody's out of order. Which, I suppose we could try it. Could have clicked default party order.
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
There goes our guy, and he had our artifact on him. So, I hope we get the artifact back. Otherwise, we've just learned the lesson of not giving artifacts to people and instead selling it for the gold until much later in the game when you have more confidence of a character surviving.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
And our cultist there died very quickly. Like, he didn't get the death's door prompt or anything like that. I guess the question is, do we have anybody that heals anything? Yeah, I don't think
Executed with
I
impunity.
don't think I have a healing character. So this would be the healing character if I had one. Heal 3 of himself.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
This one would require me to move. This one will require me to move.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
We're about to lose this guy, which means we're also going to lose this artifact. Unless this one can heal the party.
Patched up. If only to bleed again. Another one falls.
So now the hope is just to be able to kill this or heal this guy.
And now the true test. Hold fast or expire.
Come on, heal. And stay healed and stop bleeding. I feel like the bleeding potentially is increasing the odds of me dying more than just staying at death's door. So I might be hurting my chances of survival by trying to heal him over and over again. But I don't know that for certain, so I can't be sure.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
So that was, I guess, the item. So we got back the item because we survived. Where are we now? Moving to the next battle. No, we have to walk back this way. And I guess the bleeding stopped. Finally. It should be playing as like this character. I want to kind of hold on to the torches.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
This guy's full, so I can't give him any more food anyways. What happened to all those items, though, that I just picked up? They don't seem like they ended up into my inventory. So did his kleptomaniacy, again a reason to not be controlling that character, just steal all those items? I thought I was playing as this character, but it seemed to swap back, or a random click seemed to swap back to that character. Right. So let's go ahead and attack this guy with that. Do I have any heal options?
Sedated.
Let's go ahead and just pull up the light. Just hope this goes well. Once again, this just feels like I'm gonna get into a cycle of barely healing our characters and missing out on attack moves because of it. Really just to heal this one guy because I don't have any other thing I can do. This guy cannot do anything, so mark and buff. This one can attack that one and debuff. Try that attack and it missed. Yeah, it seems like some of these attacks you would have to have an ACC that's way higher. Agility, whatever the ACC is. This guy can't do anything. So his best bet just doing that and taking out a corpse. Which at the very least that gives him something to do. I could see a version of this game in which you would have absolutely nothing that you could do. She's out of position, so now she can't heal. He's out of position, so he needs to just move everybody back. This guy has a pretty good dodge.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I'm just gonna have him move again. And now it's just a matter of seeing if we can heal this guy a couple times before the whole fight is done.
Annihilated.
No, not a couple times, but we were able to do it once.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Alright. There. Eat a bunch of food, get his health up. Down we go. Next room. Everybody's hungry, everybody eats. No real problem there. This guy clicks on the pack. That way we actually end up getting this stuff. And we looked out on this room, which does seem to happen fairly frequently. Do we have enough torches? No. Abomination should probably check this because he's probably safe from diseases.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
This tree holds a huge hole in the trunk. Perhaps there's something inside. Sometimes the tree is just a tree. Alright. We have to complete 100% of the room battles, so if we were going to try and leave this, we have to hope that this is the final room battle. Otherwise, there are just going to be times in which you get screwed and you clear out a dungeon, even if you didn't intend to clear out a dungeon. Let's see. Bile's Bite on this guy. And then Dazzling Light or Illumination. I think on this one. And then Smite on that one. Until they miss. probably need to turn the light up as much as I can.
How quickly the tide turns.
You know, it might be worth it just to run here. Wow, he has vigorous.
Adversity can foster hope and resilience.
Sometimes heroes respond to the onslaught of stress by becoming virtuous. The elevated state of performance will last until they suffer a large amount of stress or return to town and confer stat bonuses and other benefits. Files bite again on these characters.
Precision and power.
Heal the party. And this virtuous guy, can he really win the day for us? Power of light flows through me, extra healing, smite. I assume his accuracy probably is higher. Yeah, that's probably what ACC stands for, is accuracy, not agility.
Festering fear
This character
consumes
is
the mind.
horrified. Really don't want to lose this character.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
I missed. Blight and debuff. So probably attacking the madman is the right move at this point.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
At death's door, which this character could eat food. Just missing. Survived long enough. Can you eat food while you're in battle, though? No. Stun the madman. Smite this one, I think, is still what you're trying to do. I may really have a problem here killing this character. And you would just hope that his protection or his dodge skills would go down when there's nobody else to attack. Otherwise, you could be in a situation where you just swing over and over at this character and are doing minimal amounts of damage or no amount of damage at all. I don't think this guy's stress is still going on as far as the virtuousness. I guess maybe it is. But he's also below 100 now. So he, like, lost some stress. As part of the virtuous aspect. Come on, be done with this guy. Ah, that missed. But it did raise the light level. Come on, be done with it.
Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Quest complete. Return to the hamlet. Yeah.
The agents of pestilence will yet be driven from our woods.
They got us a decent amount of items. Although I don't know if the collected treasures that we collected here includes the item that we brought in and then the character died. Doesn't seem like it's counting that. So, decent amount of gold, setting this up nicely. Resolve level up. Heroes gain Resolve XP for each successful quest. Resolve XP in turn determines the hero's Resolve level. A Resolve level represents the hero's veteranship and directly acts as a stress resistance against the horrors encountered in the dungeon. A low Resolve level hero that tries a higher level quest will quickly crumble under the unimaginable stresses. Okay, so that probably tells us the better way to play this than I've played this so far is that I really should be trying to get Resolve levels higher and higher for 4 characters and less around the idea of having just a rotating army of characters that are just cannon fodder.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Let's see. Week 8. Anne Scott has experienced undreamt of pleasures and refuses to leave the brothel yet. Anne Scott actually is the female Shieldbreaker character. Had an eye on the child, reduced stress. Glanville's feeling strong after challenging the flesh. Glanville engaged in flagellation. While praying, saw a glimpse of a greater beings controlling the destiny, which gives this guy God-fearing. Level 2 Adventurer Crusader, another person dead. No event again. Right, so kleptomania is something I really would like to get rid of. Or unlock. Like, he's got a lot of bad abilities, and we are getting to the point where it starts to make sense to try and get rid of his bad abilities. Okay, so now he is just in the treatment ward for the week to get rid of the slow reflection. We could, I suppose, fairly cheaply also get rid of these diseases, but that too, I guess, takes a week. I hadn't really expected that. So these two probably aren't going to really reduce their stress much in that time. This guy needs to go to the brothel if he needs stress release at all, which I guess he kinda is the only one that does. Nope, can't go to the brothel unless we can upgrade the brothel. We didn't check any of that as far as can we upgrade. That would have reduced the cost. That would have reduced the cost. So upgrading those now is too late. Everybody else is good. We can grab one more character.
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
Let's see. It'll just be a while until we have enough to upgrade the roster more. Can we upgrade the blacksmith? Yes. Weapons to rank 2. Armors to rank 2. I'd say you'd probably want armor
sword,
first.
a stronger shield, anything to prolong a soldier's life.
Then can we upgrade anything here? No. Very expensive, very rare items in for sale here, which makes me suspect that there might be specific time frames in which you get better items to purchase. Still haven't made any progress.
You will know the tragic extent of my failings.
So yeah, there's nothing you can do here other than to say, let's find characters with 1 that are still playable. Yeah, this is probably a good one to play. So it's probably a good one to play too. Right. This guy, we could upgrade him. So he now has a durable overcoat as an item. Let me click on him. Yeah, that is just how that works. So it's not actual items that you drag and drop, which is weird. Here, we should also take the abomination character here and give him this, since he can use that. And we should come over to the occultist and give him this, because why not? He's min user, still a nightmare. Yeah, worth it to upgrade those two. Probably worth it to upgrade that. And just anything that's level 1. The general idea, I think, would be to just try and continuously upgrade them and make them worthy of going through levels and succeeding at levels, or more likely to succeed at levels. I guess it doesn't matter though. Like, we should check out the caves and the cove in the next recording. We should potentially try even the farmstead a second time. But it does seem like no matter what you do, if you complete the goals, there's a chance that the percentage will go up. Because even though it says progress is 0% here, it clearly says 1, where here it says progress is 50%. So your first run through probably gets you from a 0 to a level 1. And so now this is a short and a medium. So we could focus in on just shorts again and try and do a short a second time. And check this out. But after that point, there is no more dodging it. We will have to just start doing the mediums and see as far as we can get down the path with the mediums. As far as just getting gold, we do now have the beginnings of hope, I guess is what you would say. Like, I was fairly concerned that I would just not be able to do anything even after upgrading the buildings, and that has been proven to be a concern that I really shouldn't have had. And so, yeah, as long as I can upgrade things, then things will get cheaper and cheaper. And as long as things get cheaper and cheaper, we're in a good position. Yeah.
Experimental techniques and tonics can overcome things a sharpened sword cannot.
Yeah. This graveyard is going to get fuller and fuller. Certainly. Yeah. But I definitely have more hope now than I did at the end of the last recording. I was getting pretty negative on my experiences, just kind of stumbling around. I still feel like this is a game where you are going to have a ton of stumbling, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, at least. As long as we can run away from dungeons and get the upgrade materials to upgrade buildings, that will lower the cost, which will make the small amount of gold we're getting not feel as small, and it will allow us to upgrade characters, which will eventually increase their attack and defense and their abilities. And we may get a level 5 character, and that may be the maximum level of characters, or we may get a level 10 character, and that may be the maximum level of characters that you can get up to. This is a very wide game instead of being a tall game, it feels like, in that you're just doing the same thing over and over again, with going through the darkest dungeon levels over and over again. I doubt we're going to really run into a boss and then a whole nother tier of worlds and levels with whole different sets of enemies or anything like that. There will be bosses at the end of each of the locations, and maybe even some sub-bosses at the end of previous runs of that same location. But I imagine they will just have a lot of health and a lot of damage, and that is a little terrifying, certainly, that if we run into a character that has like 100 health, that would be difficult, to say the least. Anyways, I guess we're getting back to 2-hour episodes, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.